You can practice for an hour and actually make your swing worse. Not because your mechanics are bad, but because you stayed too long. I've done it. Shoulders burning, grip shot, still hitting balls. At some point, the data stops being honest. And when that happens, you're not improving anymore. You're imprinting noise. This is 3-Putt Polly, aka the Golf Tech Nerd. This channel is for mid to high handicap golfers who are tired of chasing swing fixes and turning bogeys into doubles, and want a calmer, data-driven way to play smarter golf. Today, how to know exactly when practice stops helping. Now, I love practicing golf. I practice every day. Sometimes I practice multiple times a day. I've hit balls until my shoulders were burning like they are now, because my grip hurts. My back was telling me I should have stopped minutes ago. Not because I hate the game, but because I love it. I want to get better. The problem is, at some point, more practice doesn't mean better practice. And if you don't know where that line is, practice can actually make you worse. So this video isn't about practicing less. It's about practicing until the data stops being honest. So golf is addictive. I've done a video about that before. If you love the game, you want to practice constantly. You want to fix things. You want to feel progress today. And the problem is, enthusiasm doesn't know when practice has stopped being productive. Your body will keep swinging, your mind will keep searching, but the information quietly gets worse. That's why this matters, because loving golf actually makes you vulnerable to practicing past the point of usefulness. Most golfers don't really define their practice sessions. They buy a bucket or turn on the sim and they just start swinging. Buckets end up defining the session instead of goals. One more good one becomes the finish line. I can't enter that bad shot. One more good one. Fatigue sneaks in unnoticed. Practice slowly turns into endurance instead of information gathering. And endurance practice doesn't make you better. It just makes you tired. Before we even talk about when practice should end, we have to talk about how it should start. Because warm-up is not an optional data point. A warm-up isn't just about loosening muscles. It's about making your early swings representative of how you actually play. If you start collecting data before your tempo settles, before your grip pressure stabilizes, before your body starts moving freely, then your first 10 or 20 shots are really just lying to you. And those shots matter more than most golfers realize. They shape your averages. They shape your confidence. They shape the story you tell yourself about the session. A bad warm-up doesn't just waste time. It contaminates everything that follows. Now, a proper warm-up isn't a swing lesson. You're not trying to fix anything yet. You move from shorter swings to longer swings, from slower tempo to normal tempo, from judgment to observation. You're asking simple questions. Is my ball speed settling down? Is my strike quality becoming consistent? Does this feel like my normal swing? When the answer is stabilized, the warm-up is over. And that's when practice actually begins. Now here's the part most golfers miss. Fatigue shows up in your data before it shows up in your body. Long before you feel sore or tired, you'll see small changes. Swing speed slowly drifts down. Strike quality becomes less consistent. Dispersion starts to widen. There's no pain yet. There's no warning light. By the time your shoulders burn, the data has already stopped representing your real swing. And that's dangerous if you don't recognize it. Because once fatigue starts affecting the numbers, the session quietly changes. Averages drift for reasons that have nothing to do with mechanics. Dispersion widens even though your intent hasn't changed. Outliers start showing up more often. And emotionally, you start reacting to individual shots instead of patterns. That's the moment practice stops being useful. You're no longer learning, you're imprinting noise. And noisy data leads to bad conclusions. This is where a lot of damage happens. When golfers practice through fatigue, they start chasing problems that aren't real. They practice compensations. They leave the session thinking their swing is broken, when the only thing that changed was their energy level. So bad practice doesn't fail to help. It actively misleads. That's why practice needs rules, not vibes. So a good session has stopping points. That might be a fixed number of shots after your warm-up. It might be a dispersion threshold. It might be noticeable speed drop. It might be the moment frustration starts creeping in. When one of those triggers hits, practice ends. And I will say the frustration one is when I stop. Not because you're weak, but because you're disciplined. A good practice session doesn't end with exhaustion. It ends with clarity. You should walk away knowing what stayed stable, what drifted, and why. And what actually deserves attention next time. That clarity is the win. Not sweat, not soreness, not empty buckets. So if we zoom out for a second, the pattern is pretty clear. You don't improve by practicing until you're exhausted. You improve by practicing until the information is clear. Warm up properly. Define the session. Stop when the data stops telling the truth. So thanks for watching. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe. You'll find affiliate links in the description below if you want to support the channel. And remember, bad swings are part of the deal. Good data tells you what to do next.